Okay. Today our topic is cardiovascular system. The cardiovascular system is made up of three components: the heart, the blood, and the blood vessels. We'll be talking about the anatomy of the heart. We'll talk about how blood circulates through the heart. We'll talk about the electrical conducting system of the heart, and then we'll talk about how the nervous system affects the heart. So we are starting with the position of the heart. The heart is in between the two lungs in the chest. The size of the heart is about, when you close your fist, that is the size of your own heart. So the heart is in the middle of the chest, but the heart is positioned diagonally in a way that it has a broad base and also have an apex. The apex is pointing towards your own left hip. So that is about the position of the heart. Now we want to slice the heart open and then see how the inside is structured. The inside, you realize that the heart, it has upper chambers, lower chambers, and it has right pump and left pump. Actually, the upper chambers, we have right atrium, left atrium. Those are the upper chambers of the heart. And then we have right ventricle and we have left ventricle, which are the lower chambers of the heart. So usually we say that the upper chambers of the heart are also called receiving chambers. All that they do is they receive blood from the external part of the bodies. And the lower chambers, we say they are discharging chambers. They discharge blood to other parts of the body. So what we mean is that when blood is coming to the body, it will come through particular vessels we call veins. In fact, any vessel that carry blood towards the heart is called vein. And those that carry blood away from the heart, we call them arteries. So usually, when you work your body out, your blood depletes its oxygen level. So the blood that is returning to the heart, they do not actually contain oxygen. So they are coming towards the heart. So they will come through veins. So the largest of the veins that they come through into the right atrium, they are called, we have one called superior vena cava, and then we have one called inferior vena cava. So the blood comes to the right atrium and it does not contain oxygen. And it moves through a valve. This one is like a gate. We call it tricuspid valve. You open up and allow blood to come into the right ventricle, and it doesn't contain oxygen too. But then the essence of blood is for it to contain oxygen. So the blood will actually move through another vessel, but because that vessel is going away from the heart, it is called pulmonary artery. It is an artery because the blood is going away from the heart. So it will come to the lungs only to receive what? Oxygen. Once the blood comes to the lungs, it comes to receive oxygen. Now you realize that the blood that was coming does not contain oxygen. But this time around, it comes to receive oxygen and is now oxygenated. So it will now go back to the heart. Okay? When it's going back to the heart, because the blood is moving to the heart, it now contains oxygen. Because it contains oxygen and it is actually moving to the heart, it can only be received by the left atrium, because the left side of the heart deals with oxygenated blood. So the blood will come into the right atrium. When it comes into the right atrium, you realize that it contains oxygen because it's coming from the lungs. Then another valve is a one-way door. They open, allow blood in, and they don't allow backflow. So the blood will come into the left ventricle. When it comes into the left ventricle, we all know it contains oxygen because it's the same trend of blood. So it will be pumped through another vessel, which is an artery, because the blood is actually moving away from the heart, and it goes to the body in a way we call systemic circulation. So when it comes into the body, then you realize the whole body is actually activated, and the whole body is nourished with oxygen, and this cycle keeps repeating itself over and over again. Okay, so we want to move to the nervous control of the heart. The nervous system, the heart does not start pumping alone without communicating with the brain. The brain is the center of everything. So the brain has a center within the mid portion where the stem, where we have what we call cardioaccelerator, and then we have another one called cardio inhibitor. In fact, these are big names, but what they simply means is that this system enhances the heart to pump faster. Okay, the heart pumps faster, blood vessels constrict, and activities are faster. This one is cardio inhibitor. What is happening is that it tries to slow the heart down, so everything is actually controlled by that. Now we come to electrical system. Now there are electrical impulses within the heart. The heart muscle is a special type of muscle. It's able to generate its own electrical impulses. Now, we have pacemaker cells that generate the impulses. Even though all muscles within the heart, they have a capability of generating some impulses. Usually, the main pacemaker that starts the process is called SA node. Okay? And then we have AV node that will take over if SA node is actually not generating. Then we have a bundle here we call the bundle of His. Now you see the current will now divide into the bundle branches. We have left and right. Then it goes through a system known as Purkinje fibers. So usually this one starts the process, send impulse here, the two atria will contract, then the blood will move simultaneously here, and then when it comes, the current comes back and pulse here and allow the atria to relax. Then the blood will move all the way down here. The impulse will move all the way down here and electrify the whole ventricle. They'll also squeeze together and pump the blood out. So usually that is how the electrical conducting system works. Thank you very much. I'm Mohammed Najib Mahama. Bye.